What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lightweight's podcast. Today's guest, Landon Barker.
Thank you.
You have a debut song coming out.
I do.
What's it called?
Friends with Your Ex.
What's it about?
It's kind of about, like, falling in love with the person, like, you're technically not supposed to, but kind of still seeing things through.
Yeah.
And kind of just seeing how it goes. And for my situation, it went pretty well.
It worked out for you?
Yeah.
You have your music video coming out too, right?
Yeah, I do.
Debut music video.
Debut music video, yeah.
Any cool cameos?
Yeah, my girlfriend's in it. I'm not sure if you know Zach. I have Zach Lugo in it. I have one of my best friends, Mikey. Another one of my best friends, Carl. And then I'm trying to think who else I have. Oh, and then I have my real drummer in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So your live performance is going to be your same full band that you normally have?
No, actually. So I actually had the actor who plays my girlfriend's boyfriend in the music video. He's in my band, and he has never picked up a guitar a day in his life, and I have him playing guitar in my band. The only person that's in my real working band that I tour with and play with is my drummer.
Oh, okay.
That's in the video.
So with this being your debut music video, were you nervous and kind of really meticulous about how everything had to be done?
Dude, totally. I'm a perfectionist and a control freak with everything, with my songs, with my music, with anything creative. It has to be my merch everything is done by me pretty much. Yes, I do have help, and I'll ask oh, can you make it like this? But I'll have people do it 100 times until I like it. I'm very, very because that's what it's all about. That's when people start getting the respect that they deserve. It's Frank Ocean doesn't put out an album without looking at every single little detail. And I really, really am just like that. I feel like I'm a control freak.
Yeah, let me just scoot that a little closer to your mouth.
Got it.
Do you have your album art in your head already planned out?
Yeah, dude, I have a bunch of ideas for it already. I don't know what I'm going to call it. I have a few, ideas for it. But just depending on whatever it's called, I definitely will, have it planned out weeks before.
I'm really excited for everything that you're releasing because you do look at it this 360 view. And I know you're a big fan of Neck Deep.
Huge Neck Deep fan.
I feel like they do the same thing. Their album artwork gets me so excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, dude. And it's it's really everything. Creative is everything, in my opinion. The creative process to everything and how people choose to map out everything shares a lot about the human being theirself, you know? And one day I want to be able to be so good at Photoshop to the point where I'm making and editing everything. Because, having other people, help you out. For instance, I work with, a Photoshop editor for all of my stuff, for my merch, everything. And I'll have a vision. And sometimes when, that vision doesn't get completed how I've envisioned it, it's, make the process so much harder. And he's a great editor and he's a great Photoshopper, but nobody's going to see it exactly how you see it, you know?
Did your music video come out to how you saw it?
Yeah, I really do think so. I think the only thing I'd say is for some people when I was first playing it was there was kind of a context problem where nobody really understood exactly what was going on. So I went back 3 times, 4 times, 5 times until the storyline made complete sense.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So you have all eyes on you a lot for what you do. Is it hard for you to develop and grow and figure out your sound with all of that? I don't want to say pressure, but the amount of eyes on you?
Yeah, dude, completely. Because it's a lot of people get that experimenting, that time that they can experiment with their music and see what works and what doesn't and not be criticized on it. But it's also a blessing because I also have all these eyes, and if I am doing something right, there's 15 times more people that are going to see it than the average human being. So it's a blessing and a curse. I'm thankful for that, you know?
Do you have an inner circle that you send everything to, that you try and trust their advice and what they're going to say?
Dude, my dad, I show everything that I do to my dad because I feel I think he's like creative genius, and he's super duper smart, and he'll tell me if it's lame. Like he'll be like, dude, that's not cool. Whether like I show it to my friends that don't know a thing about music or a thing, like aren't very on the creative side, you know, and they'll be like, dude, this is sick. And then my dad will be like, nah, that's not that cool. Like you could do something way cooler, you know?
And your dad's Travis Barker in a bunch of rock bands, Blink-182.
Yeah.
Does he give you that advice in a producer aspect with a fatherly figure outlook?
I see what you're saying.
Like what? Because he has two hats in that.
Right, he totally does. He'll be like, I say it's more of in like a music way. It's not really in like a dad way, because like a dad way and like a mom's way is like everything that their kids do is perfect. So no, whenever it comes to music and work, my dad like talks to me in like a work way. But when it comes to life and I'm like, dude, I'm going through it with this girl and da-da-da-da, then he comes to me like a dad. But when it's about work, you know?
That's so cool. You guys have that line figured out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. But I'm glad, because then like if he was coming to me like somebody that is just like a friend that's like, oh, you can do no wrong, or like a mom way, you know what I mean? Then I probably wouldn't trust his opinion as much, you know? So I kind of need that. I need him to come to me like a work partner first.
Do you ever take his advice as like a dad, don't tell me what to do, or do you view it like his
subject wise, like in other subjects, yeah, but not in music. I feel like I can't do that. That would be stupid of me, you know?
Your TikTok songs are a lot of sounds, dancing, trends.
Right.
Can you ever see yourself opening up for vlogs?
Oh, sorry, what does that mean? Like doing vlogs?
Yeah, showing more of your life, talking to the camera type.
Yeah, man. I was actually gonna do like a 3-day vlog like leading up to this single release, and then I like got a camera and I started like filming myself, and I just kind of like I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm not good at this. So one day, eventually, yeah, dude, totally. Maybe I'll just vlog the actual like show day. Or tomorrow. I gotta send you the invite too. I'm throwing a release party.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah. So tomorrow night. So right after this, I go into rehearsals. But yeah, dude. I'm definitely want to vlog the something about this song, because I want to make it like a big moment, and I feel like this is a big moment in my life, which is so funny because I feel like I tend to like. I feel like everybody does when somebody has something big coming out that's big to them. It feels like the whole world revolves around them, right? You know what I mean? Like the biggest day. So I feel like this is like the biggest day, and I just want to like do as much as I can for it.
It's insane, and that's why I'm so stoked that you were down to come here, because it's like your debut of everything. This is the start.
This is the start. Yeah, it is, and I'm beyond excited, and I just want to show as much as myself as I possibly can, you know, and just let everybody decide how they feel about everything, and just put myself out there, you know.
In your music video, it's you singing and you're holding a guitar.
Correct.
Are you playing it live as well?
I am playing it live on that song. I actually am not the best guitar player, but I've been learning over like the past 6 months, and one day I hope to be a really good guitar player. But I can play most of my songs on guitar. How
long is your set going to be tomorrow?
My set tomorrow is going to be only 4 songs, because it's like a release party.
Yeah.
I'm just there to celebrate. Like I've been 34 days sober, no alcohol.
Congrats.
Thank you. But tomorrow I'm going to have a nice like glass of champagne or something.
You got to celebrate.
Got to celebrate.
You're dating one of the most famous women on the planet.
Right.
Charli D'Amelio. What strain does that bring to the relationship?
Well, here's the thing. I feel like in the past, she's been in relationships where they were like almost obligated to post together. And for us, it's not like that. It's more just if we're going out and we like our outfits, we'll put up the phone and make a stupid TikTok, you know? Or if we take a cute photo together at a football game, we'll post the photo. It's just like anybody else's relationship, honestly. And I feel like that's the way to make it healthy, and that's the way that we're happy together, is like not putting any pressure on it and just living our lives and doing what we want. Because when there's like a goal with a relationship, it's like it's just fake, you know? And I feel like I just don't care for that. I want to just live my life with the people I love and surround myself with good people, you know? She's
obviously supportive of your music career.
Yeah.
Is she draw inspiration for your songs?
Yeah, dude. Totally. Like, just like anybody, we've had our ups and downs in our relationship, and I've definitely written a few songs about her. Yeah. And I tend to like, actually one of my favorite lyrics ever is it sounds like stupid when you like say it out loud, but as a musician, MGK once said in a song, he said, "I have to go through shit to keep writing," like writing music. And I feel like that's like literally what creates the best music, is when like somebody pours their heart and soul into a song. Not saying I did on this last one, but I definitely have in like certain songs, you know what I mean?
So when you're going through a hardship, do you have a process for how you translate that into your song?
Yeah, most of the time I'll just start with like a certain word. Like one of the coolest ways I feel like is like, let's say theoretically you're going through it with your girlfriend, and she said something to you that like really, really hurt you. Like, for example, like let's say she said, I'm trying to think of something like "this will never work." Let's say she said that, "This will never work." You could start a song with that, like whatever it is, and that could be like the punchline. Like when she said, "This will never work," and then I'll just write off of that.
And then what's that process like? Do you write it in your notepad and then you bring that to the studio?
Yeah, I'll definitely write that down, dude. There's so many times I've like sat there and like written stuff down that people have said to me, or like that I've heard. Like the other day I went to dinner with Guram. He's the designer of Vetmont, beautiful clothing brand, and Miguel, the singer. And Miguel told me a quote, because I as a musician and as a creative person, one of my favorite questions to ask like people that inspire me is what inspires them. So I asked him, I said, "What inspires you?" And he told me this quote. I forgot what he said it was from, but he told me a quote, and the quote went something like, "I don't want to go through life and come out of life looking like squeaky and clean and nice. Like I want to go out of life like when I'm done with my life, and when I'm done with my life, I want to go out with flames behind me and scratches and bruises and know that I actually lived." And I just thought that was so cool. So I wrote that down the other day.
And then for your other songs that you're performing, are those going to be on your album?
Yeah, most of them. I honestly just don't know yet, because like I feel like every single time I get in the studio, not every single time, but most of the time, whatever I make, I think is better than the one I made before. So I'll always go through this thing where I'm my biggest critic, and I'll hate what I made last week but love it, and then make a new song and hate what I made, and I'll like never want to hear it again. But then you just have those sessions where you're like, damn, this is just awful, and you feel like shit about yourself. You're like, I feel so bad, and I am a horrible musician. And then you have those sessions where it's great. So I feel like it's like almost like being a creative person it's full of ups and downs, no matter what.
When you finish your song, do you have a little ritual of you like going out to your car and listening to it in the stereo and driving somewhere?
Yeah, dude. I mean, definitely like I'll be like pressuring whoever produced it or whoever engineered it to send it to me as soon as fucking possible, because I'm like, I can't wait to listen to it and judge it. And then when I get the mix, the car is the best place to listen to it, because when you think about it, all the people that are going to listen to your song, where are they going to be listening to it? Probably in their headphones or on their phones sometimes, but most of the time in their car. So you can hear it exactly everybody else is going to hear it before they hear it.
Right. So you spoke about you went out to lunch or whatever with Miguel. You were surrounded with rock legends throughout growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Was it hard to keep grounded and not lose yourself? Because I feel like you're a very level-headed person.
Excuse me. Honestly, I feel like being around those people made it even easier, in fact. I say that because rarely, I feel like, it's not rarely, but people that have been in the game and, like, have really succeeded, most of them are pretty level-headed and humble. It's the people that are new to fame and getting all this at once that are not so level-headed. But those are most of the time those people aren't the people that have longevity. It's the people who stayed level-headed and stayed kind to everybody around them. And honestly, I feel like seeing the difference between like those people was probably what inspired me to like be like, oh yeah, you gotta remain humble. Seeing my dad, I feel like is one of the most humble human beings I know. And that's like, I feel like that's definitely where I got that from. I don't like, I see those other type people and I just think, like I don't want to stay away from it, you know?
Who are some of the people that really you drew your energy to because they were so kind to you?
Man, growing up, it was like, gosh, I feel like such a loser for forgetting, but like the lead singer of My Chem, Gerald. Yeah. When I was younger, he was just super sweet to me when my dad and him were on tour. MGK even super duper kind to me and super, because like, dude, at the end of the day, they're there to work with my dad, and they don't have to go out of their way to be nice to me. I'm just some little fucking kid standing there like all goo-goo-eyed over them. You know what I mean? And I feel like those people that did go out of their way, I'll never forget it. There's so many of them, but the people that didn't, I'll also never forget it, you know? So I feel like that's like, I've been in the standpoint, not the standpoint, but I've been in like the position of being a fan forever, and I still am in the position of being a fan to some people, so I understand how it feels. So everybody who considers herself a supporter or a fan of me, I want to go out of my way, you know? I feel like that's how you keep them and let them know that you support them just as much as they support you, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned that you would go out on tour, and you went out for the past 10 years with your dad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that enhanced your childhood? Because I feel like you got to see the world and you got to be around all these.
Like, yes and no. Yes, because I did get to be around a lot of cool people, but I also wasn't around many kids, you know? So all my friends at school would be going to summer camps and it'd be hanging out all summer. I'd be on tour with a bunch of adults and my little sister. So I'd kind of go a little bit crazy sometimes. But, yeah, there are ups and downs to it. I'm still, like, super thankful that I did get to experience all those cities and places and got to be around that for so long. But, yeah, dude, I definitely, like, didn't have as many friends growing up because of that, you know?
Were you and your sister pretty close during those times?
Hell yeah.
Because
we were like all each other had. Like, we would just sit there all day and just, like, dude, I'd play Barbies with her, like, on the tour bus. Like, I would do anything because I was just, like, that. We and her were, like, best friends.
Do you ever feel like you had to share your dad with the public?
No, not really. I mean, maybe a little bit, like, at, like, Disneyland. I think I said this in an interview before he got asked. Like, I counted, me and my friend went to Disneyland, and we counted 250 photos. Yeah, dude. And that's not like a quick photo, like, can we get a selfie? It's like, dude, I love your work, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, they're little conversations, you know what I mean? And my dad stopped for every single one of them. So, like, Disneyland was definitely, like, the worst that it ever got.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a good counting game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your dad offered for you to go to college.
Yeah.
But you opted not to.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? A year ago?
It was right when I graduated high school. He tried to convince me to go to Berklee School of Music, which is a blessing for a lot of people. And a lot of people would love to go there, and I'm very thankful that I got the opportunity to go there, but I did not want to. Like, no matter what, I didn't want to.
I mean, obviously everyone's experience is different, but do you think you made the right decision now a year later?
Yeah, 110%. I wouldn't have met my girlfriend. I wouldn't have gotten the past year of musical experiences that I did. I wouldn't have sold out the Roxy. I wouldn't have done all the stuff that I've done today. I feel like all my biggest accomplishments that I've done today, like, I wouldn't have performed at Coachella, dude. Like, I wouldn't have met all these cool people and just started. You know what I mean? I'd be at school learning about music, and I'd probably come out of there with perfect pitch or something cool. But I feel like I got so much further this year, and I've learned so much, and I've grown so much as a musician, and I've made so many good musical friends and that I love working with, and I feel like I wouldn't have been in the position I'm in today, you know?
Yeah. I feel like you do bust your ass, and like,
yeah, dude.
That's really why you're in the position that you're in, because you're the one steering the ship.
Dude, always, yeah. I'm the one that's like calling my manager being like, let's go do this, like, get me into this, or let me do this, you know? Like, I'll have him like emailing like 300 emails a week just to random different things that come to my mind. Like, I'll be using a water bottle, and I'll be like, dude, let's work with them. Like, so I feel like all like the cool brand deals that I did, like even like my collaboration with Boohoo Man that I'm really proud of, because I actually sat there and like designed everything. So yeah, man, I'm really, really excited that I didn't go, and really thankful for all the opportunities that I've gotten this year. And I like I did Behind the Blinds recently. That was so much fun, and I'm also going into the modeling world too, which I like really, really love. But and thank you to Dying California for me not going to college too, man. Like, super thankful for that.
What would you credit that for? What do you mean?
Because, dude, like, before Dying Cali, well, the whole story of Dying California is pretty insane. I've told it like a few times, but I'll tell it again. So here's how it happened. I was in the studio, and MGK was in the studio right next to me, working with my dad, and I was in like the B room. And I was just working on something with my friend LJ and my engineer, and he had a guitar loop that he had been playing on his computer that he had written a while ago. And it was like the dun 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 dun, and it was literally just that. And me and him walked into the other room. There was like a bed at the studio, and we literally just sat on the bed. We were like, this is a fire loop. Let's really lock in on this one. So we did it, and it was like, we figured out the kill to me I used to be. Am I dying California? It was actually, I'm the death of California. In my mind, I had a dream and saw a demon. I know, whatever it was. And we went back in the studio, and while Kels was walking by, someone had just opened the door, and Kels had heard the song. He was like, dude, this is hard. So he walked in there, and he was like, I think you should lay it down like this, though. And he got on the mic, did his thing, whatever. And then after that, my engineer sent me a bounce, and 6 months later, didn't hear anything about it. And I decided one day, I was like, I'm going to preview this on TikTok, not knowing that that's like not that cool to do. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that. So I previewed it on TikTok.
What does that mean, you previewed it?
Like, I grabbed the sound and put it on TikTok. And when I did that, somebody on YouTube grabbed it and they put it on, somebody off TikTok grabbed it and put it on YouTube. While I guess Megan Fox was scrolling on her phone, she found that on YouTube and was like, this is one of my favorite songs you ever made, Kels. Or like, this one's really good, or whatever it was. I didn't know that she really liked it. And she showed it to him, and then he texts my dad and goes, Travis, I have a really weird idea. And I don't think I was supposed to see this. At the time, I had my dad's computer for school because I was still in high school. So I had broken my computer. So I was using my dad's computer, and I'm like typing at night, whatever, like watching YouTube or something. And I get a text and it says, MGK, I have a really weird idea. And I'm on his computer. And my dad's like in the other room. He goes, hit me with it. And he goes, dude, I saw a snippet of Landon's Die in California song. I want to put it on the album. And then my dad goes, let's do it. And after that, my dad and DTA actually were able to like give me like a record deal and all that. So because like DTA isn't just gonna throw somebody a record deal because it's under Elektra, and Elektra's under Warner. So that like, yeah, my dad could have been like, yeah, give him a record deal. They'd be like, for what? He has no music out. So really, it's just I'm really thankful to that song because that's literally what got me the record deal, and I'm so thankful to MGK because that couldn't have worked out better. That was like the universe. That was God, you know?
Yeah.
It was, yeah, crazy.
How conscious are you in your decision making, knowing that like anything you do can and might and will be picked up by the gossips, the teas?
Dude, I'm so careful now. When I was younger, I wasn't, and I almost like probably like got canceled a few times, like just being like a stupid teenager, you know? So like even my friends, if my friends say something stupid, I'm just like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know? Like I'm like, I just think it's like, but that comes with maturing, you know? I feel like as an adult, you know what to say and you know what not to say. As a kid, you're just stupid. Like kids are stupid. But the problem is, luckily, I wasn't being like that watched as a kid because I feel like everybody's done things as a kid that are like so fucked up, you know? And but I'd say I'm pretty fucking careful. Like but not like not being myself, because I'm still myself, and I still have like a trucker's mouth and cuss a lot and whatnot and say out of pocket shit here and there, you know, but it's not to the point where it's like I'm disrespecting anybody, you know?
No, I saw a video of you and Charlie walking past the paparazzi, and you're like, okay, you got it.
Yeah.
It was very, very, I don't want to say professional, but like you handled it so well.
Yeah, she was tired and she was like not feeling good, and I was like, they were just super, super pressuring, and I was like, yeah, you got it. There's one clip of me like last year when my dad was in the hospital, and I had just played Madison Square Garden with Kels, and I was going to the after party, and while I was leaving, the paparazzi came. They were like, praying for your dad, man, because my dad was in the hospital with pancreatitis, and like I would call him, and he literally was like unresponsive. Like I would literally be like, Dad, I love you. He'd be like, literally nothing, and I fucking was like trying to get my mind off of it, and like the doctors were all like saying like he's gonna be okay, and I just didn't know, because when I'd call him, like he literally wouldn't even open his eyes. He was in so much pain, and then he went to like emergency surgery that night. He had just like gotten out of emergency surgery, and the paparazzi were like, praying for your dad, man. Yeah, I'm praying for your dad, man. Praying for your dad, man. Praying for your dad. Like, say it like 6 times. I was like, dude, fuck off. And I walked into the car, and there's like a whole clip of me just flipping them off. But yeah, dude, that shit was fucking horrifying. I was like stuck in New York. I bought my flight to fly home the next day, and then luckily the next day, like his levels went down, but like his pancreatitis levels were like insane. His pancreas levels were insane, and they were like, they're supposed to be at like 40 or something, and they were at like something insane, super duper high. But that was probably like one of the worst moments of my life, just like calling your dad, and that's somebody who's like really the only person I ever really had, and calling him and having like him be like unresponsive, like seeing your parent like that is fucking like heart-wrenching. It's so bad, you know?
Is he okay now from all of that?
Yeah. He's doing way better, but it was actually because of he went in for a surgery, and the surgery was just supposed to be like a endoscopy or a colonoscopy, one of the two. I think a colonoscopy, where they like stick the tube up your butt. And the doctor there thought that there was like a polyp on his pancreas, and there wasn't. So the doctor ended up cutting out a piece of his pancreas. And my family and my dad went to Nobu. I was in New York with Charlie. And while they were at Nobu, my dad was good. He went home and he called the ambulance. I know my dad's like a G when it comes to like pain or anything like that. Like he was in a plane crash, you know, like he can handle it. Like he's good, you know, he's really good with that. And for him saying, like, I got a call being like, yo, dad saying he needs to call the ambulance. He's in an immense amount of pain. Like he's in so much pain. And I'm like, okay, like, can you guys keep me updated? And I'm in fucking New York, like sitting here in this like hotel room, like maybe like a little bit bigger than this room, just like walking in circles, going crazy. And then they're like, he has pancreatitis. And I'm like, what the fuck? But like pancreatitis is one thing. I'm pretty sure that's just when like your pancreas swells up. They didn't know that they cut a piece of his pancreas out. So he was just in like in your pancreas, I'm pretty sure it's like, I'm not super good with this type of stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's like what filters everything. And so he's just in like crazy amount of pain. And I'm calling him. I'm like, Dad, are you okay? He's like, I think so. Like, and he's every single time I call him, his eyes were shut, and it's like barely could talk. He'd be like, yeah. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I had the show the next day. I'm like, dude, is he getting better? I was like, I'm going to give it one more day, see if he's getting better. And he wasn't getting better. So I booked my flight. And then right when I booked my flight, he ended up starting to feel better. And they got his levels to go down. But yeah, dude, for the longest time, like, I felt like a year out there that, like, I didn't know if he was going to be okay or not. And thank God he was okay.
And it's completely over with now.
Yeah. So I'm sure it could, like, swell up again. And I'm not sure exactly how it works. But yeah, dude, he's back to it. And, like, I knew it was off when my dad couldn't stand up. My dad wakes up at 8:30 every morning, goes to the gym, does a 2-hour workout. Like, there was something fucking off. And calling your dad and not being able to, like, he was, like, damn near unresponsive. It was, like, the worst thing in the world ever.
Damn.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier the plane crash.
Yeah.
He famously wasn't going on planes until about a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah, dude, he's better on planes than I am. Like,
really?
My sister is pretty good on planes too. I'm the worst at planes. Yeah. I like, and I don't even know if it's from that, but when I go on a plane, I sit on it like thinking that it's my last day on earth every single second of it. It's so fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I have to take Xanax on planes, and I like hate Xanax so much. Like, it's so awful.
Were you blown away that he went back on a plane?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I was so scared. And then he, like, started flying every other day. I'm like, dude, like, calm the fuck down.
So you had moments. You performed at Coachella.
Yeah.
As a kid, when Blink would play, you'd be standing on the side of the stage.
Performing.
Did you envision that for yourself at a super young age? Like, I want to be up there?
Yeah, dude, I'd be right next to my dad's drum kit.
Could the crowd see you?
Air guitar. They could see me playing air guitar, singing every single song. And it felt like, for me as a kid, I was like, okay, when the band goes on, it's my time to go on too. Like,
you're getting ready in your own room.
Yeah. I felt like it was my time to go on stage. So I knew I always wanted this. You know, I've always wanted to be a part of, to make music, you know?
Was your sister there too?
No, she wasn't doing what I was doing. She would just sit back. I would sit there and, like, had a microphone stand, had a microphone that was disconnected, had a guitar that was disconnected, and I would just perform on the side.
What did you want for yourself? Did you want to be just you, or did you want to have a band? I just wanted to be me. And I feel like that's what I'm going to do. I'm always going to have my band, and I feel like this year I literally found my band, which is so tight. Like, some of the boys in there I know I'm going to play with for the rest of my life. You should never know, you know, things will change, but I know that some of the boys in there I'll definitely play with for the rest of my life. It's funny, dude, my band is like full of 30-year-olds, so got to get some younger guys in there. Who else do you get inspiration from? Obviously, you said Neck Deep.
Yeah.
What other, like, punk bands do you listen to?
Neck Deep, Bring Me the Horizon, Taking Back Sunday, Blink, obviously, Green Day.
Do you like the story so far?
Love the story so far.
So good.
Clairvoyant, it's a great song. I used to listen to all that stuff. Sleeping with Sirens, like, even like Crass. It was like super hardcore punk band. Hold on, let me bring my phone up because there's this one song that I was listening to for the longest time. I have a whole playlist literally called Emo. A Day to Remember, Neck Deep, Taking Back Sunday, More Neck Deep. What was that song called?
Would you ever want these people to collab on your album?
Honestly, man, I love pop punk music. I have such a inspiration from it, and I love it so much. But that's actually not what I've been making. I've been making a lot of like pop music and indie music and like indie rock. I've been really going in that kind of lane. I've been really, really, really inspired by Dominic Fike and kind of going that lane.
So good.
But also taking my background and putting a little taste of it in there, you know?
Yeah. Would you do an EP or a full album first?
Probably going to try and do an EP early next year. And then maybe late next year an album, if not the year after that.
And then would you have the same producer do the whole album, or would you do kind of a mix of people?
Totally do a mix of people, and but I feel like when you do an EP, there's a little bit less pressure. Like when you put out an album, it's like a big decision. Like, okay, I'm ready, and it's like your freshman album. You have to be like, it has to be great, you know, because this is like an album is something that never, ever, 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 ever will go away. Like you can't unrelease an album, you know. When you put out an album, you gotta love every single second of it. I feel like EPs kind of get like thrown under the rug here and there, you know. And you could do like great EPs, or you could do like EPs, and there's a little bit less expectations. So I want to start with an EP for sure.
Do you feel like you have a leg up on other people because of your big TikTok following? Because I feel like that's almost the new way of promoting songs.
Dude, totally. Yeah, I mean, growing on TikTok is a great way to promote music, and I've been I don't think I could be as confident in my music without my TikTok following, you know.
Yeah, and because I went all the way down to the bottom of your page. You were doing TikTok 2019-ish.
Dude, I've been doing TikTok since like 2016.
Oh, even earlier?
Yeah, dude, but I made that account, and so here's what happened. I was doing Musical.ly at one point, so I've been grinding that app for so long, dude.
And you were on Instagram when you were 10.
Yeah, dude. Fucking was big on the social media as a kid.
Did you understand it, like the reach on it?
No,
you were just fucking around.
Like, this is like something that's my own that I can call my own. I thought was cool, you know.
Yeah. Was there a lot of thought into what you actually shared? Or was it just like...
No, I was like... I think I have like one photo that I took down that I was looking at the other day, and it was like me with like little like green like slick back hair with like a bandana, and I'm like 3 Pac LOL. It's like the caption. No thought was going into it at all.
So what's your day-to-day like now? Obviously, you have the release party tomorrow. You're in the studio 5-6 times a week.
Yeah.
Is that all? That's your main focus?
Main focus, yeah. And I'll take like, if I need like once again, like you got to go through life to keep writing music. If I'm like kind of dry, I'll like take 3 days, 4 days off. But yeah, dude, most of the time, some days I'll even do like session after session. I'll do a session at like 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., then 5 p.m. to like 3 a.m. Like I'll be really, really in there. And for the longest time, I like was kind of like not being as serious as I should have been. I like kind of told my girlfriend, and I was like, I'm gonna start working in the studio a lot more, and I'm gonna have a lot more late nights. And she was like, kind of bummed on it, but you know, like work is work, and I don't think that she loves the fact that like musicians kind of work at weird hours, especially me, because like my schedule fluctuates all the time, like sleeping schedule. Like sometimes I'll stay up all the way until 1 p.m. and sleep till 8 p.m. and then work from like 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. Or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's super duper weird. Or I'll be on a great schedule. I'll wake up at 9 a.m. like I did today, and then go to sleep at 10 p.m., you know? So.
What are those 3 days of you clearing your mind like?
Just grabbing inspiration and taking a second to live my actual life and figure out what inspires me, you know? And I do that by just doing things that make me happy, hanging out with my friends, and playing a little bit of video games, going to the local coffee shop. You know what I mean? Like I'll do it just by like finding happiness, and then when I find happiness, I feel like that's when I find inspiration. But I also find inspiration in dark times in my life as well. So I really just like I like take a step out of just like music mode, because you can get really wrapped up in music and like almost faking it, and I don't want to fake anything that I'm saying in my songs. So yeah, I'll just like find what makes me happy or find what's not making me happy, and I'll go back to it, you know?
Yeah. That's sick.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, single comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
Music video tonight.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah. Cool. Thanks so much for being here.
Of course, thank you.
Guys, all the links are going to be linked down below. Go check it out. Lightweights out.
Lightweights.
Thank you.